just about Rugby League. We're going to have a quick chat about the two live games coming up Thursday and Friday on Sky. Obviously, bumper week of Rugby League. You've got 4 live games this week because there's a double header at Henley on Sunday and Sky covering them. First of all, we've got Wigan and Warrington opening Super League up on Thursday night. Wigan short 1-2, Warrington 2-1. I think Warrington will probably value here, you know, like I said, they're very, very early days. So you don't want to be getting too involved at this stage. No real form to work on. You can't really judge pre-season form. Wigan certainly had a very, very short pre-season. They only really put the full team out once against Leeds. They lost that game, but again, there's so many changes and everything else in the game. You can't really gauge it full if the team got rhythm and things like that. It's very, very early days to be looking at things like that. Warrington getting 6 star and the handicap's probably the value here. I mean, they're about 11 to 10 if you shop around. I think about 365 got them 11 to 10. But if you fancy, we can obviously get the -6, or you can get the half time, full time. That's 10 to 11. Half time, full time. You have to be winning. We're going to have to win it at half time and at full time for the game for your bet to pay out. So I mean, that's the value you fancy Wigan. But for me, I think it's probably Warrington getting 6. I mean, this time of the year, you're probably better looking just fun bets. You know, try scorers or man of the match. Like I said, on the first try scorers, you've got Marshall and Burgess at 9 to 1, and they're the favourites. Probably you're not quite sure how Wigan will go on the wings today. Charlie 12 to 1 for Warrington, but for me, probably looking at Bevan French at 12 to 1 for the first try. I think he's playing at fullback this year, so she'll get in the line plenty. He's very, very fast, very, very good finisher. I think he's going to play fullback with Hardacre in the centres. As for Warrington, probably between Charlie at 12, but I remember he's looked to line him at 14s. I mean, they're both really good try scorers. Probably looking at between them two. That's the man of the match, obviously. Hastings is a 6 to 1 favourite. Very, very, very hard to see past him. I think, you know, the problem with the man of the match, I'm not quite sure how Sky are going to do it this time. Hopefully the commentators will pick it. I'd certainly prefer it that way because they said you can gauge over the season which kind of way they're going. Usually the backs of the hooker that tends to get it. But I mean, 6 to 1 Hastings, I haven't really got further than that. Like I said, they've got 7 to 1 French, 12 to 1 Hardacre for Wigan. As for Warrington, 8 to 1 Austin, 10 to 1 Clark. Probably prefer Clark. You know, I think I've said before, I think Clark's have a massive. This could be a massive year for him. Big internationals in the winter, and then going to a World Cup next year. I really think he could make that number 9 jersey his own for England. Wigan are going to be without Flower and Gildart. Looks like Warrington without Hughes. Obviously Woodup's out for a while as well. So there'll be a few injuries for both teams. It is early doors, so be very, very, very careful. But you know, like I say, try scores man of the match. That's where I'll be looking. I'll be looking at Hastings and probably Clark as we 2 for man of the match. On Friday night we've got St Helens against Salford. Obviously St Helens very short, 1 to 6. Salford around 9 to 2. You can probably get 5 to 1 if you shop about. But I mean, Saints are missing a few. I think they've got Roby, they've got Makers, and they've got Knowles out. So you know, and again, it's early doors to be back in a team at that kind of odds. The handicap's 14 is 16, so you know, obviously shop around, get what. So if you fancy Saints, get the -14. Fancy Salford, try and get the +16. I'd probably say a bit nearer Salford. I think, you know, jury's split out on Salford. How are they going to get on after grand final last year? But for me, you know, I saw them a few weeks ago and they still look really good. They've signed really well. Kevin Brown's a good signing. Sargent for Wigan in the centres, another good signing. So I think Salford will go well. Maybe it's not quite as well as last year, but I still think they'll go well. I mean, fair dues have lost Hastings and Jones, who were probably the 2 best players last year. But again, this is another game where you're probably looking, maybe it's a try scorers or man of the match. I mean, because even on the half-time, full-time, you're looking at 4 to 11, 1 to 3 for St Helens, which is very, very short at this early stage. I mean, I think Rhys Williams, he's just signed from London for Salford. If he gets a run in the side, you know, I think he could score a bagful. So I could be looking at him at a decent price for the first try. As for Saints, someone expects of a really, really big year this time. Now he's really settled at St Helens. Regan Grace, that's what maybe he's looking there. I mean, he's a real speedster on the wing. I think he's going to score again a lot of tries this year. So maybe his try scores. Maybe look to Rhys Williams or Grace, someone like that. But the prices are out yet. But you know, they should be coming out today. The squads have just been announced, so the prices shouldn't be too far away. As for man of the match, I think Joey Lussick's going to have a massive, massive season for Salford. He's from dummy half. He's going to be behind I think Salford got a good pack this year. He's going to play well behind them. I mean, as for Saints, I think my best player last year, Lomax, over the season, I mean, Hastings was superb as well. But for me, I think Lomax just edged it. So, I mean, my 2 for man of the match will probably be Lussick and Lomax. But prices will be out later on in the week. But just keep your eye out. But like I say, keep your eye out on Saturday. I'll do another one of these for the Toronto against Castleford and Leeds Hull game. That's a double header from Henley on Sunday with Sky covering as well. It's a great start to Super League. But like I say, just keep following the page. We should get more of these videos out to you. See you soon. Ta-ra.